Hey, dummies and dumettes. I think that's a thing. Welcome back. It's 2016 sucked, huh? Yeah, it's it's been a while. I'm gonna try and do a brand new episode of Anime Streaming Showcase, something I haven't done in a long time. But let's just get all that out of the way and let's just go right into our next episode. All right. Sports manga and anime are quite prominent in Japanese culture, even if the same can't be said in America. Now, let me clarify, obviously, America is all about sports. We air at least a sporting event once a day across 7 different cable channels. But as far as our fiction, you don't see too many stories in bookstores or being displayed as prominently as you do in Japan. There's at least several new series a year in Japan showcasing everything from chess to football, soccer, even cricket, things like that. Like, it's always something that's happening. And some of them are huge successes. Like, you have series like Hikaru no Go, or you have things like Hajime no Ippo or Fighting Spirit that are just huge successes and run for years and years and years. And then you have a couple that just fail to never leave the ground. But today we're going to focus on one of the hottest series going on right now from Weekly Shonen Jump, and that's Haikyuu from Haruichi Fururate. Launched nearly 5 years ago in Weekly Shonen Jump, Haikyuu focuses on Shuyu Hinata and his goal to become a volleyball star, just like his idol, Little Giant. Naturally, Hinata has his strengths and his weaknesses like every typical shonen hero that you've ever seen, but the true star really isn't just Hinata, it's the entire cast, his entire team that joins him at Karasuno High School. And Fururate has done a great job of letting every single character in the show or in the manga have his limelight without taking too much away from the overall story. I've read several series or watched several series where the cast just gets so big that it's hard to follow and hard to really care about a lot of the characters that they introduce because they don't get enough time focused on them to really develop them and to really make them seem meaningful or poignant. They're just another body that's on screen that can really take away from the overall point of the story. Sometimes they get pushed to the back, sometimes they're forgotten and then just show up at opportune times to help improve the plot forward, or basically be a Deus Ex Machina and just save the day. But Furudate has somehow struck this fine balance of his characters get developed, his characters get screen time, his characters get their stories told without disrupting the flow of the storytelling. But you're probably asking, what kind of storytelling is being told in a volleyball manga or a volleyball anime? And truth be told, the story is pretty razor thin. It's not going to be something that's game changing or anything that's going to be too over the top. But it's about Hinata and it's about the Karasuno High School becoming the best volleyball players they can be. Obviously they want to win, obviously they want to be the best, but Furudate a lot of times will have them lose, will have them not succeed, and I think that's a super poignant part about this manga and this anime, is the heroes of the story aren't always the ones winning. And it's all too often you see in shonen series that the heroes will come out on top no matter what. They may lose once, and it'll be brief, and then they'll come back with some new power or some new friendship ability that somehow makes them able to win. And honestly, it's disgusting when I see that as someone who just reads this stuff all the time. But with Haikyuu, he does cause them to lose. They don't win every match. They may ultimately win in the end, but that's one of my favorite things about Haikyuu is they don't necessarily win all the time. There is that loss, there is that understanding of when you lose, you simply weren't your best and you have to just try harder the next time. And I think it's something we don't see that often in the shonen genre, which makes sense. It is a typically childish genre. It's aimed for little kids, so you don't want them to get completely downtrodden and completely defeated all the time. But it is important to show the idea of loss and show the idea of being defeated, but you can come back from that. And meanwhile, on the production side, you have the animation studio Production ID that has done a phenomenal job adapting Furudate's work. There is barely a wasted scene or breath in the entire 60 episode run of Haikyuu. and you look at all these monologues and these soliloquies that happen during mid-match, and you would think they completely break the momentum of a serve, or they break the momentum of a hot streak and things like that, and they don't. They're just enough to sort of give a little bit of exposition and explain the characters' motivations without dragging out an entire episode. There's never an entire episode that is just one thing. There's always multiple things happening in the entire episode. There's never a wasted step. And it's actually, I say that, but I look at season 3, and season 3 is literally just one game against another team. It's very well done, and there's not a moment wasted in it, but I know I'm saying that when the other 50 episodes that came before it were paced a lot better. But this particular season focused on one of their more important games, so it made sense, and it's told very well, so it's a little bit more forgivable. But there's all these small touches that Production IG has done where they've really captured the sound of the volleyball, they've captured the sound of it hitting a palm, they've captured the sound of it hitting the ground, they've captured the whistles, they've captured the small touches like the shoes squeaking across the linoleum to really help bring the stress and the idea and just bring you into this world of volleyball match happening in every episode. And it's something quite remarkable that you don't really see too many series going that extra touch to really pull you in. And then you have the soundtrack with composers Yuki Hayashi and Masami Tachibana, who most of the time the music is there, but you don't hear it unless you need to hear it. What I mean by that is it'll be playing and it's very soft, but then when the music is supposed to hit, it's supposed to make you feel something, that's when it comes in, that's when you're hearing it, and that's when you're knowing, wow, something really serious, something important is happening right now. And they do it so well, and it's just such a subtle part of the whole production that it helps make it even more memorable when it finally does kick in and you're finally hearing it, and it's attributing to this incredible scene. As someone, obviously, if you know anything about me, I know next to nothing about sports. I am the most inactive person probably on the planet when it comes to sports. The only reason I really even checked out Haikyuu a couple years ago was I had just I was trying to get outside of my comfort zone. I was trying to look for something that I wouldn't ordinarily watch or I wouldn't ordinarily pay much attention to. But I kept hearing about this. I kept hearing about Haikyuu, and it was on my anime list. It was one of the top rated series. I was like, okay, well, if other nerds like it, let's see what they have to say about it. And I, through a weekend, went through the entire first season because it was just so compelling, and it just brought me in. I never wanted to leave. And I have not missed an episode since it's been airing. All 60 episodes are streaming on Crunchyroll, and I believe the first 2 seasons are available on Hulu, as well as the first season is completely available for purchase by Sentai Filmworks. Not sure about any other episodes. I haven't seen anything, if they're going to continue releasing them on physical media, but as of right now, you can find all 60 episodes online through Crunchyroll, and I believe also through Hulu. It's absolutely a phenomenal series. I do think it is worth the hype. I don't think there is too many problems with this series that would prevent someone that is unfamiliar with sports or doesn't ordinarily like sports, that they can't find something here to enjoy, and they can't find something here that even if they only watch the first season and first 25 episodes, they won't feel like they've wasted their time. That they feel that it is just an incredible show from start to finish. Maybe it'll hook them enough that they'll come back for the remaining 35 episodes. If you want more, the manga is still running, so you can catch that. The anime covers about the first 200 or so chapters, so there's about 40 or so more that you can continue the story with. But Haikyuu is absolutely a stream-worthy show. I personally will probably own it if they do a final collection once the entire series is done. But there is just something special about Haikyuu that it is sort of a gateway anime for me. Like, I now want to go check out other sports animes that if they're this quality, if they're this ability of storytelling, that I'm hooked. That I can look past the specific genre, the specific setting, and find something there that I like about it. But we'll see. So Haikyuu, it's definitely stream worthy. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10 if you need a number score. It's pretty great. I don't think there's a reason you shouldn't be at least checking out the show. So, yay! And it's good to be back. I'm going to try and do more of these again in the future. My schedule's clearing up a little bit, and I should have a little bit more free time to do things. Like 2016, I just had little to no time to do anything. I didn't hang out with friends. I barely saw any movies. I barely got to watch anime. It was very depressing. It was a bad year. Boo, 2016. But thanks to Comrade Trump, maybe we'll have some more free time and I can get more of these out to you, because there are a lot of good series that have been airing lately and series from the past that I want to talk about. So if you're watching this pre-Christmas or at Christmas, happy Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and good holidays and happy merry day, and Jesus, I like you. You're a cool guy. All right, guys, have a good weekend.